The average person spends 5 years waiting in line in their lifetime. There's no way. There's no way I'm spending 5 years in line. There is no way. It's false for me.
That is a lot. Yeah. If you count a red light, I'll say yeah.
That's a good point.
I think instead of like starting every episode with "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome," we make it like our signature thing to start with. You say "Question of the day," but you say it in a different way every episode.
That's how we're starting our podcast.
Question of the day, and next episode will be like "Question of the day."
So you
it's
want
like
to start
your
off?
own like signature thing.
All right.
Because we can only say "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to."
That's fair.
We can only say it so many times.
That's
I was
fair.
thinking like people have their own way of like starting a podcast. That could be ours.
All right. So you do the first one then.
Question of the day.
Question of the day. What is the question of the day? Or even starting with the question of the day?
I think that's a good icebreaker, I guess. Yeah, okay. Icebreaker, and then we'll do like the intro to the episode, I guess.
All right. I'll let you take the wheel here, sir.
All right. So that was the beginning right there. Question of the day. Garrett, would you rather be a top 5 chess player in the world? Top 5 chess player in the world, or know how to speak 5 languages? I was talking about this at work the other day. Both make you a very smart person.
Well, top chess player as in the best in the world?
Yes. What other meaning is there?
Well, like, I don't know, professional, top 10, top 5. Well,
And you can speak whatever 5 languages you want.
yeah. Well, there's definitely more reward to being the greatest at anything. If you're the greatest chess player in the world, there's got to be a healthy pot of money there for being the best. If you never lose...
There are 4 other chess players better than you, though, in this instance.
You just said I was the best.
Top 5. Top 5. Top 5. You're insanely good, but you're not the best.
Top 5, you're still winning.
You can get some
lot.
good money from that.
Yeah.
You can also get a really good job if you can speak 5 languages, though.
Yeah, and you're experiencing a lot more, speaking more, if you allow yourself to. But I still got to go top 5 in chess. Chess is so universally known to be that good at chess. That also has to mean you're smart.
I feel... Oh, yeah. You can play chess against someone that doesn't speak the same language as you, because you guys both speak chess, even though you might not speak Italian or whatever.
Yeah, no, that you can get some good jobs being able to speak Spanish. I would love to be able to speak a second language. Not that I'm going to try and learn, but to me that's a pretty easy would you rather. It's pretty much like, let's compare chess to football. Now, obviously, you're not making football money, but if you're the greatest in that sport, you're just people want to be a football player. People want to be the best at whatever they're trying to do.
Yeah.
So a lot of people speak 5 languages. Very few people can say they're the best at something like chess.
I think I'll take the 5 languages because I can still play a game of chess, and I won't be a top 5 player in the world, but I can have a good time playing my dad or playing some old guy in New York City. And it'll be an exercise for my brain. I will come out a little bit smarter. But I can't just go up to some guy that doesn't speak the same language as me and have a good enough conversation where I can understand. No, I won't understand him at all. Whereas if I can speak 5 languages, I can go to China right now and just start talking to these people. That's so cool to me.
It does fit you well. You're much greater at starting conversation, holding conversation.
I guess.
For me, I would be fully satisfied with only Spanish or English and Spanish. Once you get to the others, it's cool, but they're not as dominant for me.
I wonder how soon it would wear off knowing how to speak a language. The first conversation would be the coolest thing ever. But
That's
the
true.
4th, I don't know.
But
I would take the languages.
Also, for me, I don't know the first thing about chess. So to me, chess is like you have to be a genius to be great at it.
I know how to I have a better understanding of how to play chess than how to play checkers. Like, you know, like the saying, "Oh, you're playing checkers while I'm playing chess."
Yeah.
I don't know how to play checkers, but I
don't know how to play it at all?
I've never played checkers.
Interesting.
Indoor recess in 2nd grade when all the kids would be playing checkers and go fish and stuff. I never played checkers.
I didn't play checkers a lot, but I played against a kid once in 6th grade, and he was just dissing me the entire time. He's like, "That's really your move?"
Oh,
I'm like, "This is checkers.
Yeah,
I'm just
that's
moving,
the most disowning thing.
I'm just moving
when
pieces."
someone talks down on you.
I feel like there's no real strategy to checkers. I mean, I guess
I don't know.
I don't know. Chess, obviously, there's strategy.
We're stratego kind of guys. Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, I love stratego.
That's pure strategy right there.
Yeah, that's
I feel
a
like
real
a military sergeant.
Yeah, that's a real board game. Go out there and play some stratego. Now, we didn't play the right way, I don't think.
Oh.
We added rules.
I played my brothers and family in that. That was fun.
Yeah, I remember in 4th grade, my guy Antonio, he was the king of stratego. I beat him by 1 move. He claims I didn't beat him, but I know for a fact I had 1 step closer to that flag. I beat him. I was now the king of the 4th grade recess classroom. It's one of my highlights in elementary school.
Yeah.
People took that game serious in 4th grade.
Stratego?
Yeah.
I can't say it.
Stratego.
Stratego.
I have it over there. But
sounds like a brand of pasta sauce.
Yeah, I just remember hearing there's an online version, like on your phone. And
It
then
probably is.
Yeah, but it was played the real way. I played it my way, so I was like, this isn't fun because the real game isn't that good. But
now,
our version
was Antonio playing it your way, or
yeah, it was our 4th grade way.
Okay.
Because we didn't really read the instructions. We just kind of picked it up and started. We knew the brief understanding, but just like the game Uno, you always add different rules. You play spicy Uno. There's an Uno that's only wild cards out there. Like,
how do you win that game?
I forget. I played it once. It's not as dumb as it sounds, but it is still pretty stupid.
Yeah.
But great game right there. But anyways, what's next on our agenda here? You kind of have the beginning of the episode. I got the tail end. So
okay. So this is the big chunk of the episode. Where were you the last week, Garrett? This was you went on an adventure.
Yeah, sure, if that's what you want to call it. Is the coconut in frame?
A little bit. They can't see. They see that it's a coconut, but not.
I got a coconut in my backdrop now. I got it from the Dominican Republic.
He's got my haircut.
He kind of does.
Yeah.
Just lower to the eyes. He's got no head above his eyes. But yeah, I was on a missions trip. My first time flying, first time really traveling to the Dominican Republic.
First time leaving Pennsylvania.
That's not true. But I've been. I've been out of PA.
I thought this was literally on the podcast. You told me you never left PA.
We were in Wildwood like 3 times together.
That's a good point. Yeah.
but it was my first time flying. I get a lot of people that come up to me the last few days. They're like, "Hey, how was the mission trip? How was this?" And it's one of those experiences. It's one of those things where I feel like you need to experience it for you to fully understand kind of what it is about. So when someone asks me how it is, I say it was very good, very good. And I don't want to shortchange them in that response, but at the same time, in a short conversation like that, I can't give it justice. So we figured during this podcast, Ethan kind of interview me about it a little bit. He'd ask me some questions about it. I'd answer whatever he's curious about, and then the people that are actually curious about how my trip went, they can watch the first part of this podcast and then maybe watch the rest and other episodes. We'll see.
This is the big chunk of the podcast right here.
I will say, before he asks any questions, it was a great, great trip. Now, obviously, I haven't traveled much, so just the traveling portion of this was very new, and that was a new experience for me that I really enjoyed. Flying, just being in a
TSA.
being in a whole new, surrounding.
Whole new world.
Yeah, it was really awesome that way, but also, of course, the missions trip part of it, the reason that I went there, just really, really awesome. So let's see what Ethan's curious about.
I was
I'll
gonna
try my best
I was
to
gonna
answer.
clarify at the end there. Yeah, this wasn't like a family vacation or anything. This was a missions trip affiliated with the church we go to, M Star. So you were there doing God's work, man. That's incredible.
Yes.
So
Let him take a sip of his water.
I've
You
got a
can hit
couple
me.
questions here. I don't really think it matters what I ask first, so I'll just go
Yeah,
what
go
I wrote
ahead,
down
go ahead.
first. Garrett, you went to the Dominican Republic for a missions trip. What was the best thing you ate on your trip?
The best thing I ate. Well, the reason I would recommend this to somebody who has never been on a missions trip is because we had the luxury of staying at a resort, which I would compare to a New Jersey hotel. Still very, very nice for mission trip standards, and it was an awesome time. But they had at the resort all you can eat buffets, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that was what I ate for the week. The best thing, the thing that stands out to the most from the buffet would have to be fried eggplants.
Ooh!
It was very good.
Wow.
Fried
Okay.
eggplant. Most of it was Americanized. Like, it wasn't pure Dominican food.
You weren't walking like in the
But
Dominican markets or anything.
I did go to a grocery store down there.
Okay.
But
Fried eggplant.
nothing crazy. But the
Wow.
bananas there, too, are very sweet. So the bananas were good, too.
Huh.
Yeah.
No, I want to try Dominican banana now.
You got to come with in 2 years.
I think I might. It's like how Pat Bev announced that he was changing teams via his podcast. We're going to announce breaking news on the podcast. I have signed on for the 2025 missions trip. Next question. I want you to think about the trip, Garrett. Close your eyes. Who is one native of the DR that comes into your head from the trip? Just someone you met.
Yeah.
You think about the trip. What person from the DR do you associate that trip with? Anyone come to mind?
So there are 5 clinic days of the trip. The third day, I spent well over half of it with one kid. I was a part of the evangelism part, which is where I'm working with the children. We're playing games. We're singing songs, whatnot. And they also had a basketball clinic there. I did a lot with the basketball clinic. I got to teach basketball with... his name was John. He is the vice president of the Big 12. Very cool guy. But shout out John, I guess.
That
But
sounds like a pretty big deal.
it's I don't know much about it, but yeah,
It's
that's
like the Roger Goodell of college basketball.
it. Sure, I guess, but
He probably has Adam Silver in his contacts.
I don't know. But he was very humble about it. That's just how people introduced him. But anyways, with the evangelism part, one of the days there was a kid, maybe 5-6 years old. Now, one of the coolest parts about the Dominican Republic is everybody there knows how to play baseball. That's like their most dominant sport there. So kids who are like 3-4 years old were swinging bats and like hitting bombs.
Dang.
So the kid I was with, we were just playing catch with a tennis ball. Then it turned into, I'd throw him some pitches. He'd hit the tennis ball. And just for a good 3-4 hours straight, that's what I did with the kid. And you can just tell, it means a lot to the kid. It means a lot to you because that's a relationship that the kid's going to remember and that I'm going to remember.
Do you remember his name?
No.
Oh,
I didn't.
baseball kid.
I didn't ask him his name, no. He didn't really, we
It
didn't
sounds
really
like he
talk.
was young, so yeah.
Yeah, he was young. I have a photo with him. I guess I can put it up, although I always forget to put in photos when I'm editing. But
If he makes
Just-
the MLB one day, do you think you'll recognize him?
no.
Ah, come on.
But there's a lot of MLB talent from the DR. That's how I refer to the
Isn't
Dominican
that
Republic.
the guy in the Phillies from there? Edmundo.
Mundo Sosa? I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably. There's a lot, but that he sticks out the most just because, I'd imagine, another part of that too, because there's 2 halves of the clinic. You have the first half, then lunch, and second half. We hung out, or we played together for the entire first half. Then he had to leave. but most of the families come back for the second one because then for the medical part of the clinic, they can do 2 parts of the clinic. You can only do 1 part of the clinic for each section. So I'd imagine they came back for the second one to do something else. And I saw him at the beginning of the second one, but then he disappeared. So I was like, I thought I was his buddy, and then he dipped. But it turns out he just went. He went through the medical part himself. And at the very end, he came up to me and he gave me a hug and he was waving.
Yeah.
So it's just it felt really, really good just to impact one child in that way.
Could have been the best day of his life right there.
Maybe.
Now the medical clinic, that was just like people getting like their eyes and ears checked and stuff.
Yeah, they had
simple stuff.
Yeah, there was dental, optical. They offered a lot. The pharmacy was the biggest. They gave out a lot of medications.
Yeah.
They had physical therapy, a lot of different doctors, and all these people coming together for that's the official label or label, I guess, of the trip was a medical missions trip. I didn't do any of the medical sides of it. I did evangelism and basketball, like I said, but that's
like
one of the
mental
main
medicine,
focus.
though. You're lifting their spirits.
Yeah.
Which is just as important.
But yeah, that's who stands out the most for me.
So, baseball boy. Very nice. Next question. After seeing how the people of the Dominican Republic lived, what is one thing that you will try to appreciate more back home, Garrett? Anything stick out?
Well, I think the main part is just opportunity. In the DR, the only way to really get out is by becoming a professional baseball player. They don't have the option to, fly to the United States whenever they want. You need someone to take you out of the DR. It's very difficult for them to get out of that lifestyle. So I think just knowing the opportunities you have in the United States, you're very thankful for what you have. But at the same time, knowing the gift you have of having your freedom, and being in an amazing country, you want to take advantage of that and you want to make the most out of what you're given. It's you have such a beautiful life and opportunity. It would just be a disservice to waste that away, knowing other people don't have that same opportunity. So that's what I'd say.
It's like a lot of people like after high school in the U.S. and stuff, they take that year or two just to explore the country and have these opportunities come up. So they'll be like, oh, I'm going to go live my life in Arizona and become a teacher there. But DR, they don't have that. It's like I have to stay in this village for my entire life.
Yeah, you stay in the country. I talked. It was really cool getting to talk to people down there who were studying English, so that way I could communicate with them. And I asked him, what have you ever thought of coming to the United States? And it just wasn't really a thing.
This baseball boy, he didn't speak any English, did he?
No, I don't even. He spoke some. Yeah, they speak Spanish or.
He spoke baseball.
There's another language too that's more closer to Haiti. I forget, Creole or something like that. I don't know if that.
I don't know.
I didn't hear any Creole. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know, but. Yeah, but most of our communication was very simple. You just use hand gestures, and that's all we needed. If you wanted to hit with the bat, he'd swing, or whatever it was. We had a good communication system just with bodily expression.
Nice. He was hitting curveballs and all that stuff.
I wasn't throwing him curveballs, but
sounded like he was pretty good. But
for being 5 years old, he hit a baseball. It's pretty impressive.
It's probably better than me now. Garrett, what will you miss most about the Dominican Republic? Baseball boy? Probably.
Well, I'll give you a different answer. I've been saying this a couple times during the trip, or not during the trip, on the way back. I can't say I miss this the most, but I did really enjoy the heat.
Yeah, you did mention that.
I can't say I missed that the most because I don't know if I could withstand Dominican Republic heat for more than a couple weeks, but I did like feeling the sun. It was kind of energizing, feeling the sun on your skin. Now I'm at home and it's so cloudy, you don't even the sun's just not out, which it's kind of weird thinking about it during summertime.
Just Canada, yeah.
But that, and also probably a better answer, and what I would choose for one is the people on the trip that I went with. a lot of different churches combined for that missions trip, and I got to make a lot of new friends. But they're from all over the United States, so I had that week with them, and it was an amazing time. And luckily, I can still keep in contact with, I think, just about all of them. But it's slim chance I see them again. So I definitely miss those guys.
Yeah. Now the heat, was the sun like? Was it the same as like when you go to the beach and the sun has just like such a big presence there? 'Cause that's nice, but you get sunburn immediately. But
it's
you make it sound like you're like Superman and like the sun, you just feel the energy coming into you.
That's
pretty cool.
Most people won't agree with me for enjoying the sun.
I'm sweating.
It's more, you had to drink a lot of water. Like they stress that like crazy. You got to be drinking a lot of water. And I drank a ton of water, and I still like barely peed. Like it's weird because you just sweat it out. So you gotta drink a lot of water. You still need to take breaks. You need your shade here and there. But like I said, I was outside playing most of the time. I wasn't really in the shade, so I definitely got a lot of sun. And luckily, my arms and stuff don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I burn a little bit, but nothing that was harmful in any way. So, I mean, I have good genetics that way.
Yeah, I may have traveled more than you, but you have officially been closer to the equator than I have so far in our lives.
Yeah, and you
so
still need to look up. I've been thinking about that. I want to look up a map and see where it is to the equator. Like I know it's close, but I want to see how close.
I think you take our distance to the Dominican Republic, and then if you add on, like if you had to drive from Pennsylvania, like North Carolina again, I think that would take you to the equator.
So from here to North Carolina.
So maybe like 700, 800. Nah, it's got to be way more than that.
I don't know.
It's like 2,000 miles going to California.
I gotta look up a map, but the sun down there is different. It just is.
Yeah.
But
that's interesting.
For a week, I did really enjoy the sun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Was there a certain part of the trip where you really felt the Holy Spirit moving around in the moment? Like you were like nervous about anything, and just the Holy Spirit really clutched up and just blessed you with a great moment.
Yeah. So for most of the beginning parts of the trip and for the clinics, I felt like I was more just trying to receive my environment as it was, trying to learn, like traveling, just seeing the new country.
Yeah.
And some of that, I felt like I wasn't as engaged with the Holy Spirit for the beginning part of it, just because everything was so new. So halfway through there, I didn't see as much of that, just with how new it was. I think that's fully understandable and expected. A big reason why I want to return, now that I know what it's about, I feel like I can be a lot more useful earlier on. But the biggest moment and my favorite moment, I don't know if that's going to be a question later, but
surprisingly it's not.
But easily would be, we went on Sunday, which was our second to last day. We went to a church service in the Dominican Republic. It was fully, we didn't take over anything. We kind of just joined in on a church service. And, well, I mean, we did join in for different things, and it was very awesome to see how they worship. A lot more passion, a lot more, loud music, a lot of energy. But at the end of that, Dennis was the guy who, there's like 8 different services, and they split up the 270 people that were a part of the trip to those 8. So the pastor that came with us, his name was Dennis. And at the end of it, he had us, we lined the aisle with all the missionaries, and then the people of the church walked through, and we placed a hand on them and prayed for them. And that was like an hour straight of just very emotional praying. You could see the emotion in the faces of the people there, just very grateful, but also broken at the same time.
They were?
But very, the Holy Spirit was definitely there, just seeing how that moment was working in the people there. And it was, that was the experience that you kind of think of a missions trip, and it was there, and it was towards the end of the trip. So kind of at the beginning part, I felt like, I could have done more, but in that moment, that really filled the heart with a lot of different emotions, but all very good ones.
That's very good.
It's
I have
weird.
Nothing coming to the brain right now. I enjoyed
Yeah.
letting that answer just marinate. And
It's
just me
weird
thinking
because this
about
is a very funny podcast, but right now this
We've
is
gone full
easily the
CNN 60 minutes here.
this is easily
For the
most,
better, though.
the most serious. Yeah, but do you have any more questions? If not, I guess my final statement.
I've got one more.
Okay.
But I want the worship. This isn't the question. I just want to dive into that a little bit more. You said it was like more passionate and stuff. Like, how many people were like on the worship band? Was there even a worship band or something?
Yeah. The church we went to.
How many people were in the church in general?
Yeah, the church we went to was actually very beautiful. A lot of the buildings just around were very, I don't want to say poorly made, but even if it was new, you could see where like corners were cut and stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you have a new building today, it's going to be super clean and crisp with whatever. And that's how this church was built, which is like really the only building I saw that was like that. So it was a beautiful church. But they did have a worship team. Their worship was someone might have sang 2 songs, but they had a lot of different people come in to sing different. Like they had like a small chorus at one point with like 4 older students. They had a guy sing. What was the name of the song? It was a popular American song, but they sang it in Spanish, so that was really cool.
Amazing Grace.
No, it's Chris Tomlin is his name.
How great is our God?
I recorded that out. I think it. I don't know, but anyways, and then they had a lady sang at the beginning, and that was like. That really immersed you into it really fast because it was just very loud, a lot of loud drums and whatnot, and she was just singing at the top of her lungs, and you don't even understand it, but you can feel the passion, and it's probably one of the greatest services I've been to, even though I couldn't understand the worship. You felt the spirit because of the emotion.
The audience, they were just all like dove into like prayer immediately, or like they were like dancing around and like
they're clapping and
okay.
I don't know.
I'm thinking M-Star, the worship there is incredible, but it's only a matter of time before someone starts the worship conga line. Because I'm all for like people getting up and moving around and dancing stuff.
You gotta start that. I mean, I'd help you if we went to the same
me and
service.
Doug might start the worship conga line one day.
That's
in
a
on
good
that.
idea. That is a good
That could
idea.
easily fail and be the dumbest thing ever. but
You're not getting everybody, but you could get 50 people to do it. I
the
think.
worship conga line. Oh yeah.
It's tough because you got to find the right song to do it for. If it's like a sad worship song.
Yeah.
But is there something else you asked in terms?
I have
of
one last question, yeah, and that is, do you have any regrets looking back on the trip, Garrett? Plane ride home, anything you feel that you might have left on the table?
Yeah, the only main regret was the first few days I was much more hesitant with joining in on what the other young adults were doing. And I ended up making great friends with them, but it was, 4th day was probably the first time I really started hanging with them. So there's a lot of really awesome people my age that I wish I would have known earlier in the week, just because I had an amazing time with them for half the trip, but it could have been 90% of the trip.
These were natives, or these were like people from other churches?
Yeah,
like,
people from other churches.
And these churches could be in like California or Georgia.
A lot from Michigan, Missouri, Florida, Ohio.
So it's going to be hard for you to see these people again.
Yeah.
You get any like their Instagrams or?
There's a group chat with like I'd say 90% of us.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty cool to have. And then we'll see if people return in future years. I'll see them again.
Yeah, that would be
or
cool.
Someone did bring up the idea of doing like a trip to Michigan or something. I don't know how realistic that is, but I would be
You're
down.
A traveling man now.
I'd be down if someone from Michigan organizes something. I mean, heck, if people go to it, I'll go.
Especially in Michigan.
But yeah, because we played a lot. There's a lot of different games they played. One of the most popular ones was because our resort was next to the beach, so we did a volleyball circle till probably 12 Is it 12 a.m. or 12 p.m.? I never know. How do you
12
determine?
a.m. is when it's dark out, midnight.
Okay, so 12 a.m.
What?
Which was breaking the rules, but
Midnight volleyball?
well, from like 9 to 12, yeah, because the sand's
Okay.
hot during the day.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be on.
Yeah.
The sand is burning your feet. So, and it was elimination. So you're in a circle trying to get a volley. If you mess up, you're out.
That sounds like
And
a
it-
vibe. That
it
sounds
was-
like a vibe.
It was because everyone was very competitive. So it was very fun. And I could have joined in on that earlier, but
I was always
that's my
terrible
only-
at that in gym class.
yeah, that and then just there's still small things I could have been more. Just I could have thrown myself at it more. I guess been less hesitant.
Yeah.
More or less hesitant. What a quote.
Well, you got that to go into your next trip, which
Yeah,
it seems
exactly.
like a matter of when, not if, for you.
Yeah, I'll need help. I need to start saving, but
Yeah.
but
That was it. I think we addressed that pretty well.
yep. And my final statement regarding the missions trip, I do think everyone who is a Christian or is looking to build their faith, I do think you should go on one missions trip at some point in your life. It's up to you when you think that's best. For me, it was early before I've any serious
Yeah, that's smart.
things going on. So, but I highly, highly recommend you go on one because it is an eye-opening experience and it definitely changes your view on things and it helps build your faith. So,
Yeah.
that's what I got on that. So, thank you for your questions.
Yeah. I
Hopefully,
enjoyed that serious turn. That we
Hopefully,
took.
next time someone asks me how the trip went, I can send them this link.
Yeah. So I'm not talking to you. Just look at the link I sent you.
I have a podcast.
Drop a like and a comment and subscribe if you want.
But now that that's finished up, we'll return to our roots as a podcast. Have a more
I need to take those brain cells out of me that I just got.
yeah. We can't grow in smartness on this podcast. Well, we can, but not for the next few. So I actually do have a small little game, I guess, that kind of relates to the missions trip or traveling more
Okay.
pinpointable. New word right there, pinpointable.
Pinpointable.
Whew. But I think you should go 4 for 4 with these. So I'm not giving you any mistakes.
It is pouring.
You're
On the TV, yeah.
I guess that's in Philly. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, I have your award. I remember I said I got you a rock from the DR.
Yeah.
You're not just getting that. You got to earn it.
Ah.
Now, I think this is very easy, but you need to go 4 for 4.
Okay.
So you need to tell me the 2 safest ways to travel and the 2 most dangerous ways to travel. I think they're pretty straightforward.
The safest way to travel is by airplane because so many people do it, and there's just not enough instances where things go wrong to where the point where the ratio makes it dangerous.
Yes, flying was the #1 answer for safest ways to travel.
What is dangerous? Dangerous is like hitchhiking?
I'm not going to count that. You're thinking way too hard. You're thinking way too hard. These are all very, very... all of these you would realistically could or would travel with.
Motorcycle.
That is the #1 most dangerous.
Okay.
So now you need the second safest and the second most dangerous. But
Second most dangerous is by car.
Yes.
Yeah!
So now the second safest way to travel for a rock from the Dominican Republic. The second safest way to travel is
By train.
good guess, but no.
What? I don't get the rock?
Not tonight. You do not get the rock.
A bus?
It was bus. Yes.
Buses always get robbed, man. Haven't you seen Speed with Keanu Reeves?
No.
A bus gets hijacked.
Train was 3, but it was not #2, which is interesting because a train is just on it. I guess when the tracks like cross, I guess that can be a thing. I don't know.
Can I see the rock?
It's in the kitchen.
Okay, forget
It's
it.
like this big.
Man. I told you how that was going on like my Hall of Fame shelf and everything.
I thought
That's
this was
okay.
pretty easy. I mean, I should have given you one. I'll probably still give it to you, but I was hoping you would earn it. Now you'll get the rock knowing you didn't earn it.
Okay.
But that's
all right.
okay. But that freshens up the mood a little bit. Just back into our dumb conversation.
That was a good
But
little
now
game.
you know the safest and dangerous ways to travel. So motorcycle, by the way, I don't have the exact statistics, but it was like way more dangerous.
Motorcycle is like majority of motorcycle owners have been in an accident before.
Yeah, you gotta be careful if you're.
I thought about getting my motorcycle license, but I mentioned it, and then literally 25 people came to me that next day telling me all their horror stories about how their friends, their neighbors, lost their pinky on a motorcycle accident.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Well, this is a BuzzFeed article. I have to give them credit because it's not our article. It is BuzzFeed's article. I guess the author is Cute Little Kid, community contributor. But basically it has a list of myths, and then you have to say, is it true or is it false?
Okay.
So I'll ask. I don't know the answers to. I have to click on it. So, first one here: bats are blind. True or false? I feel like it's gotta be false.
I think the myth is that they're blinds. I think that's false.
It is false.
Okay.
All right. A baby bird's mother will reject them if you pick them up.
I'm gonna say it's true.
I agree. It is false.
Dang it!
Parent birds don't recognize their young via smell, so touching the baby bird won't cause them to abandon it. Very nice. What's this? NASA spent over $165 million on a space pen while Russians just use pencils.
That sounds like something NASA would do. Yeah.
I'll go false. You're saying true?
I think that's true.
It is false.
Ah! You're winning.
Yeah, we should have made this a competition, but that's fine. The Fisher Pen Company designed a ballpoint pen that would operate better in space. They did order 34 mechanical pencils for a total of $4,000. So they cost $130 each. Seems like a way. All right. This one's pretty wild. A chicken once lived for 18 months without a head. There's no way that's true.
So what are you saying?
False.
I'm going to say it's true then. I got to make this a tie game.
It was true.
Yeah, it's some
What?
scientific thing where they can keep the heart.
I know they
going.
can still run around with their heads off, but 18 months? All right, there's no what? All right, I'll read what it says. Miracle Mike was a chicken that lived for 18 months after his head had been cut off. Chicken skulls have two large openings for the eyes that allow the brain to be shoved upwards into the skull at an angle. This means that while some of the brain may be sliced away, a very important part remains. That's just that's just weird.
I would not cut a chicken's head off, but I know some sadistic people that do that stuff.
All right. You only use 10% of your brain. There's no way that's true either.
Now that's what I've heard.
Yeah, these are all you hear them, but is it true or false?
I think it's false, but I think it's still less than 20%.
All right, we're both going false. It is false. It says way more than 10%.
Okay.
Doesn't give a percentage, though. The average person spends 5 years waiting in line in their lifetime. There's no way. There's no way I'm spending 5 years in line. There is no way. It's false for me.
That is a lot. Yeah. If you count a red light, I'll say yeah.
That's a good point, but yeah, I'm still going false, but it is false. Okay.
Dang it.
It just says there's no evidence.
5 years or 5 days?
5 years.
Yeah, that is a crazy amount. Holy cow.
All right. About 50% of the wealth on Earth is controlled by 1% of the population.
Sure, that's true.
I agree. That is true.
Yeah.
Sad but true is the only comment it adds. All right.
Yeah, that's sad. I read something like that in a book recently.
So now here's one that I feel like you've probably heard. Humans share 95% of their DNA with bananas. I'm saying false.
I told someone this at work thinking it was true. So I'm going to say it's false.
And it is false.
Yeah.
It does say 60%. Wait. Yeah, 60% with bananas.
Yeah, I told someone at work, like, do you know, because I was eating a banana. I was like, Zach, you see this banana? Like, do you know me and this thing share 99% of our DNA?
99. Oh, man.
He's like, no. I said, wait. And I tried to find some article to prove it, and I just didn't.
All right. Here's a good one. This might have been the first ever podcast I recorded. I think this was my fun fact, actually. I did it with Dylan. It wasn't with you, but we did a practice one. Like first time I ever recorded. There are more trees on Earth than stars in the Milky Way.
I think the consensus wants me to go with the stars, but no. There's more trees, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure mine said trees.
Yeah, space is
true.
huge, but it's not like there's... Stars are so far away from each other in space.
Yeah.
So...
There are 3 trillion trees on Earth.
Okay, I didn't think there was that many.
And 100 to 400 billion stars in the Milky Way. That's a lot of trees.
Yeah. Why do we keep planting trees? We have enough. We don't need to plant more. No, I'm kidding.
You're just trying to make me edit stuff out, man.
No, you don't have to edit that
Team
out.
Trees is gonna be
That was a joke right there.
All right, so this one I feel like is false, just because of how it emphasizes with exactly. It takes Earth exactly 365 days to go around the sun. I'm picking false.
False.
It is false. It's 365 days, 5 hours, 59 minutes, and 16 seconds.
Dang. So where does that extra time go?
Leap year?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure leap year.
I wish I was smart.
I think that makes sense. Yeah, leap year. Because that's 6 hours, 6, 12, 18, 24. That's once every 4 years. That was disgusting, but there's your answer right there.
I'm getting sleepy.
All right, well, we'll do a few more. I don't even know how long this is. I probably should have looked at that, but
now I want to find something to ask you.
I mean, I'm guessing along with you.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's true or false. I'm selecting which one I think it is. Chewing gum takes 7 years to digest. I know this one's false.
Okay.
Is that what you're going with?
No, I'll say it's true then.
It is false.
Dang it.
That I remember at the Scholastic Book Fair, they had those myth books, Mythbusters. That was definitely in one of those. All right, this one
stuff
is
was so cool back then.
Yeah. Now this one I think is another one I've seen before. If you could fold a piece of paper 45 times, it reaches the moon.
Yes, that's true.
It is true. And there's a math equation to prove it.
Heard that on the Freddy podcast.
Now's the last one.
Okay, let's really dive into this one. Winner gets all the marbles here.
That was the last one.
Oh, okay. I thought you said now we're on the last one.
There's some I skipped if you want me to.
Yeah.
Okay, the name Jessica was invented by Shakespeare. That can be our last one.
This is a doozy. Can I phone a friend? Can I call my former Panera coworker Jessica?
No.
I'm kidding.
Well, all right. Well, I know Shakespeare invented a few things. A lot of words, actually.
I'm locking that in as true, I think. 'Cause why would that be false, and why would they put that in there if it's false?
I'm trying to think of a word he invented, but I can't think of it now. I don't know. He invented a lot of words,
Thou.
though. No. He didn't invent. That's so stupid.
He invented words like that, but
That's going to bother me now. That's on the tip of my tongue. I don't know, but you're going true?
yes.
I'll go false. If it's true, you get the rock. How about that?
Okay.
If it's false, I keep it.
Come on.
It is true.
Yeah.
You get your rock. So the name was first found in Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice. Jessica is the name of Shylock's daughter. I don't know who that is, but if your name's Jessica,
That's cool.
congratulations. You have a pretty neat
I'm searching up the
Pretty neat.
origin of my name.
Now I'm going to look up Shakespeare words he invented. There's one that's I'm mainly thinking of that. There's no way he invented. What?
What?
He invented the word laughable, lonely, amazement. Those are such like basic
Wow,
words.
yeah.
What is it? Come on.
Those are some great words right there.
Assassin, that's the one I was thinking of. He invented all those. Aerial, bloody. He invented a lot of words, which is kind of crazy to think about. Shout out to Shakespeare, man. And swagger.
Swagger? Hey.
Torture. Undress. Okay, he's getting a little. Submerge. Skim milk. How do you invent the word skim milk?
Ain't no way Shakespeare knew what skim milk was.
Unreal. Lackluster. Elbow. Dude, come.
He
No
did not
way.
invent the word elbow.
There's no way. Generous. Embrace. Fashionable. Bedroom. I don't know if I'm okay. I can't go on Google anymore because someone's got to fact check this. There's no way he invented all those words.
Yeah.
But fast fashion.
What does that even mean?
You don't know what fast fashion is? Like H&M, they create a lot of clothes, but it's harmful for the environment.
No, I never heard of that.
As someone who
What,
does the vintage clothing, recycling clothes, fast fashion is a huge problem in
It
today's
has like a
world.
big carbon footprint on
Yeah.
the environment and stuff.
Yeah, there you go. There's a statistic I saw of like there's enough clothes to like that it could clothe like 20 like a crazy number of people.
We don't need more than 5 shirts in our closet, man.
Don't say that to me. I have way too many. I have 3 of those 3 dresser drawers there have t-shirts in them, and I have a bunch hung. Like I have way too many shirts.
Some of the best people of all time have worn the same thing every day, like Steve Jobs, Bart Simpson. Like every cartoon, they just wear the same clothes every episode, like Peter Griffin, or Stewie.
It's a valid point.
It's like I want to be like them.
So what was your origin of your name?
Hebrew. It came from. They think it came from. I don't know if it's pronounced Ethan or Etan, no H, but the author of Psalms.
Oh,
Yeah.
So David.
It said that's what I was thinking, but it said this guy named Ethan. And
So you're in the Bible then?
I guess not spelled ETHN.
I'll look it up quick. Is Ethan in the Bible? Yeah. 8 times in the Hebrew Bible. I wish my name was in the Bible. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But now that you should have a Bible verse next time with your name in it.
Yeah, I like that.
But today you got something different. So
Today
let's
I
hear
got
it.
something different. Where is it? Here we go. Bible verse. We heard this in church earlier today. When you give to someone in need, don't do as the hypocrites do, blowing trumpets in the synagogues and streets to call attention to their acts of charity. I tell you the truth, they have received all the reward they will ever get. Give your gifts in private, and your Father, who sees everything, will reward you. That's Matthew chapter 6, verses 2-4.
Boom.
So
So just do good works in silence. That's what I got out of
It's
that.
not like everyone on YouTube filming themselves giving shoes to a homeless man, which is nice. It raises attention.
I
for
get why they
problems.
do it. They get hate, but it supports them to do more of it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I on the mission trip, I didn't take any like photos or anything like of the work. I just if a kid's in need, I couldn't just like personally take a photo. I don't know. I personally couldn't do that, but there's nothing wrong with sharing it and showing other people what is going on in those countries. But
Yeah. It's
I
nice.
I just couldn't. I don't know. I just didn't.
Nothing wrong if you're doing it in public to inspire others to do the same and follow you, but if you're all alone and you see something where there's an opportunity to do good, you should definitely do it.
Yeah.
You might think you're alone, but God's always watching. So
I think that's just about it for episode 15.
that was a good episode.
Thank you for listening. We appreciate all you do for us. I guess.
Episode 16 coming.
Adios.
Goodbye.